All right, Esper Reanimator Control. This is the one Esper deck I have played in this format that feels like it's reasonably competitive against these field decks, in large part to the fact that, like, we can play these Agent of Treacheries early, and we can play them and blink them and bounce them to take all of our opponent's fields of the dead away from them. Post board, we also have another Agent of Treachery, so this build's felt very reasonable to me so far. We are still 66 on the ladder, and it ends in 14 days, so I'm hoping we just don't have to play that. Would love it if we could just sit there, thanks. Let's dive right into some matches and see how this goes. Does your rank go down due to inactivity? It does not. Your rank only goes down when people pass you. You only go down from people jumping past you. Wonder if there's a way to see how much time you can see how much you put into Arena. I run Arena through a tool called Lutris to manage my Windows software, and it tells me since I started using Lutris that I've logged 368 hours into Arena. One's for an island, shock and a breeding pool. Sounds like blue-green flash. It's not. Okay. Looks like an Oko deck. Yeah, there's only 2 strokes in this sideboard because the way this deck goes about attacking the field decks is different than the way a lot of other decks go about attacking it. Oko is Broko. We lose plenty. In fact, we lose enough that I'm not currently playing on the ladder because I don't want to risk hitting a losing streak. I think I'm taking Oko here because I'm going to kill this other Oko. That doesn't do anything. The difference the play versus the draw makes. If we'd been on the play this game, we'd have murdered their goose on 2.
This might be a bad idea.
I don't know, Tom. Plays Wolf and quarterback. It depends on... I think it depends a bit on what, like what cards you're cutting, because you're already bringing an Aether Gust in a matchup like that, and you don't want to overside board, because the teamer deck wants to be aggressive, proactive in most matchups. I'm a little surprised they didn't draw a card with this last turn to try and hit their land drop. They're bouncing their goose to make another food. That's funny. I like it. Alright, so they missed on a land drop again. That's good for us. Alright, let's start with this and see where we go. They have a Stone Coil Stripper. It's like, what is the pause for? Night Pack Ambusher. I think I'm going to take the Wicked Wolf here, because they have all this food that would make it annoying. Definitely in for a land. I'm going to go ahead and play this and Tyrant Scorn this guy. Yeah, I agree. This deck's been a lot of fun.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
So I'm gonna get a fourth black here, so that way you can play Murderous Rider twice in a turn. Am I Realm-Cloaked Gianting this board I feel like I'm probably not. It's just Charming Prince and Scry 2. I think I'm in for those. When constructing this deck's mana base, was there any thought considering towards triggering their fields? Yeah, basically playing 3 colors gets you there anyways, is my experience. I think that's an accurate take.
Let's try this.
If they attack, I'm gonna double block. Easy trade here. Murderous Rider for their 3/3. Just want to keep my health total high. So, I'm going to go ahead and attack their Teferi here. And the reason why I'm making this attack is if they flash in their 4/4 to block, I'll just go ahead and play Realm-Cloaked Giant and kill it. And they know I know about this, so like... I feel a little bit bad if they untap and draw a white source here, but other than that, I think we're in a pretty fine spot.
I train every day. Never thoughtfulness before action.
I'm supposed to try and high roll a Concoct here. If I miss, I still get a Charming Prince, and then I probably find a land. Perfect. In. Is Stream Decker not working or just you? Huh. Stream Decker on the overlay is not working for me either on Chrome. Let me drop a message. It should work by going directly to their website.
I invite you to change your ways.
Oh, I've done a hero.
Just the trick for this.
Oh, technology. Well, I'm pretty sure I just want their Broco, right? Actually, that's not true. I want their Teferi because their Teferi gives me my agent back. Thanks.
I got it.
So I don't get to draw a card, but they're like down a Planeswalker. And I get to like run the playback next turn. Huh? I guess we're dead to removal here. Now that you pointed out, Arena doesn't show the actual cards, I can't unsee it. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But if I swap, is swapping them agent for a 3/3 here the line? I think it is. That leaves me not dead to removal.
Loyalty is fickle and fragile.
Gives me better blocks this turn too. Encourages them to attack Oko. What do you mean it doesn't show the actual cards? I mean, there's no text box. People always complain they can't read the cards on Magic Online, but you literally don't have the option to read the cards on Magic Arena. Like, their text boxes just don't show up.
I see you don't share my vision.
Why not swap for Toolsmear? Swapping for Toolsmear means if my opponent draws a Teferi, they get to, Swapping for Toolsmear means if my opponent draws a Teferi, they get to, blot or bounce this back to their hand, which is not ideal. Tyrant Scorn lets us pick our Agent of Treachery back up here, which is decent. Do I just play a 7/7 out, though? I think I just want to play a 7/7. And actually, this is great because next turn I can Tyrant Score and bounce my Realm-Cloaked Giant, and then Realm-Cloaked Giant clear the board. I shouldn't take the cute wolf token either because the wolf token's legendary. So leaving them both of these is better in the event that they draw a thing. That they draw another Toolsmear. Yeah, let's go ahead and, what if I start by attacking and see what they do? Yeah, I should definitely attack for 7 to start. Could be a free roll, because if they block in a way that's bad for me, I just bounce inside of combat. It's just like the same result. There's a good chance they just chump block and it doesn't matter. But I could get free points in here. Huh? Because the 3/3 doesn't matter because they have a 4/4. So I could pick this up, kill this, eat these. You are not currently sub, Draven. There's not a sub icon next to your name. I'm not sure if you can check that directly on mobile. This is a decision. So like now I think I want to go kill, and then I can play this post combat, eat these other two. So I can go bounce, kill, eat these, I think is the line. And that leaves me at 8 with the Murderous Rider in play, a 7/7 and Agent of Treachery in my hand. We are currently in sub-only mode, yeah. Moderators can chat even if they're not sub, Garden Variety Troll. Yeah, the sword cuts through the barrier. Yeah, this deck has a lot of incredibly satisfying lines in it. There's like a lot of like, oh yeah, that feels good. Is sub-only mode a permanent thing? Yeah, this channel is basically in permanent sub-only mode. Well, that's excellent. You know why? Because this destroys non-giant creatures, so my 7/7 lives. Yeah, this channel's been in sub-only mode since March or so. When my content started picking up, shortly after we started doing arena content, the chat just became pretty unmanageable and not sub-only mode. I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill Narset here.
You are a mighty warrior. I concede.
No, if I do that pre-combat, I get to kill their planeswalker. Yeah, large Twitch chats tend to be, for people that weren't here when it wasn't sub-only mode, one of the issues that we had was, I hate the normal type of cesspool that normal Twitch chats devolve into. And, in order to make my channel not be a cesspool like that, I was moderating the channel. That's great. I was moderating my channel very heavily, and then people would get upset that they were getting moderated. So rather than deal with people upset that they were being moderated, I'd rather just have it in sub-only mode. Well, I guess I'm taking a 6/6, huh? Thanks for the feedback, Drake. And yeah, I poll on sub-only mode every so often. And the people who are sub, believe it or not, tend to prefer sub-only mode too.
I'm known for my excellent timing. That's more like it.
I was gonna type this via DM, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. The person who's asking me why they're currently banned in this channel, I periodically open up Todd Stevens' chat and look at all the people who are subbed to him or moderating for him or chatting in his chat, and then I ban them in my channel. Because if you're supporting awful people like Todd Stevens, I don't need you here. And if you're someone out there that's going, but Jeff, why would you say Todd Stevens is awful? I would encourage you to Google his name because he's an awful human being. So the person who is banned in my channel, that's why. So if I play this, they're gonna play this and eat 2 food and kill it, which is not ideal. That kind of sucks. About people I dislike. Listen, it's not about just disliking Todd Stevens. There's plenty of people that I dislike that I don't ban people who support them. Todd Stevens is a disgusting human being. And people like him do not deserve support. Yikes. I think that's probably gonna be the end of it. I'm not sure we're gonna beat the 3rd Oko here. Our hand is currently all creatures, can't really do much about it. Yeah, they can still view but not chat, that is correct. Yeah, I think there's a number of people that are unfamiliar with him, which is why I like to bring it up on occasion. I can't Kenrith and in the same turn. I'm 2 mana short of that. Only have 8 mana at the moment. Yeah, Todd immediately bans anybody who brings up his past in his chat for a reason. Because he understands that reasonable humans who know about his past are going to not support him. So. Thanks for rolling out some sub-gifties, Near Donis. I appreciate that. Welcome.
Your new look is enchanting.
Here we go.
Another thing I always like to do, if when I open his channel to ban people who are supporting him in mine, if he's playing copyrighted music, I report his channel for him breaking his Twitch terms of service as well. Right, they're out of food here. Going out of food was actually a pretty bold move there, because if I had drawn another Realm-Cloaked Giant, we'd have actually been back in the game. Yeah. 4 Noxious Grasp sound great. Extra Agent of Treachery sounds great. Enter the God Eternals is pretty medium here. Discovery's pretty medium because they're playing Narset. Charming Prince is actually absurd here. Yeah, Twitch doesn't. Twitch is a giant heartless corporation. They just want money. I need one more trim here. Probably don't mind trimming a Connive Concoct because our opponent's probably not putting our things into the bin too terribly often. I don't think, like, the sweepers are okay here, but I don't think they're good enough to bring in the extra Kaya's Wrath. Maybe Connive Contoct's just medium enough that that's the case, though. Yeah, this card seems a little bit medium here. Let's try this. Thanks for turning me on to Mythgard. It's awesome, and it would have flown under my radar if I didn't see you playing. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jake. We're going to wrap up today's stream with a little bit of Mythgard, I think. I'm planning to run late today. Easy mulligan here, no second land. Mana's a little bit awkward, but this is definitely a keep, I think. Probably throw back the second Tyrant Scorn. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the League of Legends card game. I don't know. Yeah. Riot has a history of having a pretty toxic work culture, and they're wholly owned by a company in China. And Riot posted a message asking their players not to speak out like Blizzard players did. So, like, as someone who, like, criticized Blizzard and won't be playing Blizzard games for that reason, I have real pause supporting Riot as a company. Hey, thanks for the brand new Prime sub there, Rectangle. I appreciate that. Welcome. And yeah, Mythgard's on mobile. Mythgard is on Android, iOS, Steam, and it's on Steam on Mac and Windows. And it runs fine on my Linux system via Steam Proton. Yeah, it also runs in your web browser. They have a web browser-based version. Yay, Magic. After incredibly great and engaging back and forth game 1, looks like we're just going to have Magic happen in game 2. I've watched too much of your content recently. It feels wrong not to be sending my Prime your way. Well, I appreciate that support. Make sure, even if you don't send your Prime this way every single month, make sure you use it somewhere. Think about it as taking dollar dues from Jeff Bezos and sending them to someone much smaller than him. You drew too many good cards at the end of last game. Probably the case. Mythgard does have PvE. They have a story mode that's partially fleshed out that they're going to be adding more to next year. And they also have a puzzle mode, which I've not tried the puzzle mode. I don't know exactly what that entails, but I've heard other people say good things about it. Where did the Hoglandia medieval theme come from for your emotes and such? Well, the base of it is the fact that, like, we were giving people swords, and, like, because the Twitch icon for a mod is a sword, like, knights are the natural extension from that, was basically where it evolved from. If you're someone that does try Mythgard, make sure you drop me a message. I have a bunch of promo codes that are good for the next week. So if you give it a try, I basically have an endless supply of these codes for the next week. So drop me a DM on Twitch or Discord and I'll send you one. I think we're just Tyrant scorning this. Is there going Red Black Knights? Red Black Knights is not currently on my radar of things I'm going to be writing about. I might write something about the Red Black Oven deck sometime soon. But Knights is not one that I've played enough, I don't think.
I've got it.
The treat codes are the promo codes. Oh, let's just grasp this one. How many subs does Day 9 have? Subscriber counts for streamers are technically not public facing. Although I think Day 9 is tracked on the Twitch stats website. This website claims to be track certain streamers. I don't know 100% how accurate it is because it doesn't track mine. But for certain streamers, this website tracks some of them, and Day 9's one they claim to track. In for seeing more unique decks, I already watched Day 9 and Legend VD. Yeah, Blues does good content too. I've seen them doing stuff before. Yeah, looks like you're currently sub Jedi. I appreciate that. All right, so we found our white source and it's untapped, so that's great. Are we just killing Broco here? I think we're just killing Broco here, huh? And then I think I'm waiting on this for now. I think my plan right now is like next turn play this, bounce this. You have to contact them to allow your number to us. I don't think that's true. I believe they just have a bot that sits and counts things for people.
Shear the wool from your eyes and spin you clarity. Welcome to the feast.
Well, the second Broco... The second Broco puts a kink in our plans a little bit. Need to draw another removal spell for this. This at least deals with this and it soaks up 3 damage next turn.
Right on schedule.
Maybe it propels us to a land drop.
I've got it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do this so I can play this and scry too. So that way I can dig to a way to take this off the table. Can I add a deck to the queue with the Prime sub? You cannot. So, oh, actually, if I draw Charming Prince next turn, I can concoct this one into play then, right? That's perfect. Prime subs are the same as tier 1 subs. They can add decks for a discounted rate. So Prime or any of my subs can add decks for $10. As always, the full details on how my deck queue system works can be found here on my website. And if they don't kill my agent, I can Charming Prince the agent the turn after and blink it and take something else, which is sweet. We got you, Slow Future.
What a bizarre expectation.
Well, that's a little awkward. Wait, are they not killing Teferi then? That seems good for me. So something that's kind of sweet now is I get to plus this and then just pass.
Trust me, I have a plan.
And I can instant speed reanimate after they use this. And this way they won't be able to attack won't be able to attack my Oko down, which is great. Hey, Kuntz, thanks for the 14 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Teferi stops them from stroking us. Remember, they're playing Hearthstone at the moment. They can't respond. Do we take the snake? Maybe?
I invite you to change your ways.
Do we take the snake? Huh? Maybe. I don't think so. I think we take the snake second. Agent of Treachery is colorless. Agent can take this. Chat, Agent is colorless. Or single colored, monocolored. Whew. That's a good one. Decent turn, yep. Yeah, this deck has really awesome lines of play. It's been a lot of fun.
I've got time.
All right, do I just kill their Oko then at this point? I think so. Thank you for continuing to be one of the most open, honest, and forthcoming entertainers out there. Thanks for the 5 months, Keith Riss. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Well, I could take the Oko too, because Charming Prince is gonna blink this. Yeah, I think my plan is Charming Prince, my agent, take their White Source, Noxious Grasp their Gilded Goose. This thing tramples, right? Why are we blocking? Opponent, it's your card, opponent. It's your card, opponent. Don't you know what your card does, opponent? And then next turn I get to Teferi, bounce my prince, play my prince, blink my agent, and then Teferi pick the prince back up again. So we're going to be taking stuff from them every turn for the next few turns. Yeah, we're gonna start triggering Agent of Treachery's flavor text real soon.
I am not going to sit this one out. This might be a bad idea.
Stop hitting yourself the game, yep. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. And next turn we get to draw step Thought Erasure them, right? Who's gonna like end their entire career here? Come on, player 6/6. I would like a 6/6. Thanks. Oop. We do not get to draw 3 till next turn. Because of this, but that's fine. And you're dead. Oh, we never get to draw 3 because we killed them. That stinks. And you have to stop drawing cards because they're dead. It's the worst. Hey, look at that. We get to play game 3. That's exciting. Alright, so just a general deck building note. If you're playing black in this format, play 4 Noxious Grasp. Just a good general deck building note. Play 4 Noxious Grasp. Huh. We only had 1 Concoct in our deck that game. It worked out pretty well. I feel like that's probably the exception and not the norm, though. I feel like I'm probably not supposed to. I think this deck's a good bit worse without Kenrith, but you could cut him for, like, another Concoct and, like, Bell-Haunts in the main, I guess. Is Kenrith not good enough here? Maybe that's the case. Maybe he just gets Oko'd and he's not good in this matchup. I could believe that. Maybe Concoct is better than Kenny. Leave like 1 in and favor Concoct. I like that suggestion. I think high rolling an agent on occasion is going to be really good. Kenrith makes your aggressive matchups much better with this deck because paying 3 to gain 5 is very good. Hand's very reasonable. Needs some lands. Hopefully we pick some up. Hey, Mile Hain, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Is this playable without Realm-Cloak? I don't think so. A big part of the power level of this deck is that card. My opponent has less than 9 minutes on their clock. This has been a long match. I'm up 7 minutes on them, but it has just been a genuinely long set. Sweet. And this is one of the reasons why Charming Prince is so good in this deck, because it just smooths out our early draws a lot of the time. Please help me find land drops. Between Charming Prince and Discovery, this deck's relatively consistent in my experience. I would like to Noxious Grasp your Oko this turn. Yeah, Charming Prince is very good in this deck. If you've never seen this deck before and you think it looks awesome, that's because it is. But shame on you, that means you haven't been to my website before. So if you're looking for sweet, off-the-beaten-path standard decks like this one, you should head on over to jeffhoagland.com and take a peek at the standard decks page. This deck and a ton of other excellent things are all listed up there. MagicEsports.net also works, yep. Yeah, Once Upon a Cat is great. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Happy to play that one again. God, it's unreal how much lag this program has. Did you see I clicked this while this was still on the stack and it didn't stop me? So the reason why I put a stop there was because I wanted to kill this during my upkeep to scry 2 again, and thankfully we drew a land, so we didn't need that. But if we didn't draw a land, I'd be kind of tilted. Egg Maynard, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Box, thanks for doling out some sub gifties. Ashiok, eh? Sure. I guess this exiles my graveyard, huh? So a real question is, do I think I want to rider this? Because this lets me play Rider next turn. Ranklecrats has been bananas. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Binks. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I think we go bottom here, right? Just looking for lands with these 7 drops. Hey, Kadhu, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome back.
Sorry I'm late. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Yanis, thanks for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome to Oaklandia. Hope you're having an excellent Thursday wherever you are. A little bit of a feel bad missing our land drop there. Hopefully we draw an untapped land this turn, so that way we can draw step Thought Erasure plus Murderous Rider, this Wicked Wolf. They just milled a bunch of lands there. Feels bad, man. Sweet. All right, so let's do that. Let's do this.
Don't worry, I got this.
Yeah, definitely Hydra increases, right? I'll leave the land there, but it's gonna go away. No more ads for another month. Thanks as always for the content. Thanks for re-upping the Twitch Prime, Draven. Welcome back. I have played some Reanimator variations in Mythgard. I think we might play one of those this afternoon, actually. They felt powerful. They felt powerful, but not unreasonable. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Absordio.
You'll thank me later.
Listen, we're living in a pretty dark timeline. Draw step Thought Erasure currently makes me one of the good guys. So just saying, draw step Thought Erasure currently puts me on the side of good guy. Now we're playing Hearthstone. Yep. I've played purple, green, and blue, green. Basically, all the Reanimator shells are green X. Gosh, if we draw a land, we get to Agent of Treachery next turn, which would be great. If they plus this Teferi, it's a huge mistake. Yeah. I think plussing that Teferi is super wrong. So I'm going to bounce this and hopefully draw an untapped land here. Noxious Grasp, eh? Alright, so Noxious Grasp lets me go grasp this so they never draw a card with it. And then Murderous Rider, this Wicked Wolf. I should wait on that. Since I killed the Teferi, there's no reason not to wait here. New subscriber, but longtime fan from YouTube. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks for the support, Yanis. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are.
Hone your prowess.
Yeah, we're still in a pretty good position. That's a tapped land, unfortunately. Teferi getting to bounce all of our creatures enter the battlefield effects is just so good in this deck. It's a shame that wasn't untapped, because then we could have Agent of Treachery this Narset before it drew another card, but that's fine. Night Pack, sure. That doesn't really matter while I have this card out. This game's definitely not over, but I feel like we're in a pretty favorable spot at the moment. Yeah, the Stream Decker widget on screen, it seems to be broken at the moment. It should work if you click through the website. Sorry about that, not sure what's up with it.
That's more like it.
So taking their Narset is pretty great when they have double Time Raveler in hand. That's going to deny them draws with those. The more I play this deck, the more I really like it. This might be, maybe this is a deck I should consider for the MCQ as well, depending on what the ban list update looks like on Monday. It's so frustrating that like I have a tournament a week and a half from now, and I can't even test for it or consider decks because like there's an update on Monday that might change it. Like I was really excited to watch the Mythic Championship. And then, like, they announced that they're going to be turning the format on its head, potentially. And now I'm just like, well, do I even bother? Right? Because I don't care about the results anymore. And, like, I tweeted at Magic Esports and asked them, like, hey, is the ban list update going to impact the event next weekend? And just, like, crickets all around. Now, the worst part about Wizard of the Coast, like, blackballing me is the fact that they won't respond to, like, super simple, reasonable questions like that when I post them. It's incredibly frustrating. It's like, hey, can you tell me if the tournament that I'm playing in is gonna have potential changes? Maybe. Thanks. Well, the stream viewer numbers aren't gonna matter, Castiel, really. Well, maybe they see it on the back end, but I'd be surprised if Wizard doesn't pay to bot up their views. Well, this was a heck of a 50-minute match one. This deck's probably gonna run long. Our opponent currently has 2.5 minutes left on their clock, and they're currently timing out. I don't know if their client crashed. It's very possible their client crashed. I'm blackballed by Wizards of the Coast because they don't like that I say their products are bad when they're bad. To quote the Wizards representative that I spoke to, the feedback that I provide makes me a liability to work with. That's a direct quote from the Wizards rep that I talked to. At the end of the day, though, I should probably be happy that they didn't go full Blizzard, right? Yeah, I had a phone call with the rep from Wizards of the Coast at one point earlier this year. Yeah, I mean, at least they were honest about it. At least they didn't go full Blizzard and, like, ban me, right? Like, they understand I make the money. Like, at the end of the day, I'm happy that they at least, like, let me have this game as my job. All right. On to the next one. Can we add the fourth? There are 4 grasps in my board. Maybe they were roping because they were salty. Maybe. I don't know. Never attribute malice. I think this is a mulligan. Just like hoping to draw a black source is pretty unlikely. I think I do better at 6. This hand's kind of medium, but we're going to keep it. I think I probably bottom the Agent of Treachery in the dark. You know what? Something I should probably try in this deck? I should probably try I should probably try some radical ideas in this deck. I'm going to write that down for next time. Try radical idea in Esper. That would let us get Agent into the bin to get it into play faster more consistently. So their turn 2 play is going to be Paradise Druid, so I'm just going to play this tapped. You haven't been criticizing an entire country on a super public platform. Well, to be fair, I do criticize a country on this super public platform. It's just the country that I'm a part of. And thankfully, Trump hasn't had his way, so we still have free speech here. He might make constant attacks against the free press, but at least we still have the ability to criticize him and the things he does.
Close your eyes, breathe, and listen to the sounds of the wild.
Well, this is a pretty good turn, huh?
I'm gonna love holding this grudge.
Oh yeah, Hoaglandia, there's no free speech. Hoaglandia is a dictatorship and I'm the dick. For anybody that's wondering.
Here we go.
So we're gonna instant speed enter the God Eternals, right? Declan's the tater. Declan's the tater for anybody wondering. Actually, am I just supposed to Realm-Cloaked Giant them here? They didn't play anything out pre-combat. All right, we're just gonna... If they would have played creatures pre-combat to grow this, I think I would have Gianted. But I think because they didn't do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna get a third black source here so that way I can cast this and this in the same turn. Oh, he's a giant. Yeah, that would be a bad idea. Good call, good call. Glad we didn't make that oopsie.
Let's try this.
We don't have free speech, we have $5 speech. It's more American that way. Ain't that the truth? Alright, so they're gonna fight my 4/4. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy this. And then next turn, Teferi's gonna bounce Murderous Rider, and I'm gonna Realm-Cloak kill their creatures.
Don't worry, I got this.
Bye, friends. Man, if they ban Field of the Dead, are you excited for Teferi bouncing these busted creatures to be the norm? Cause that's gonna be the norm. I think I'm in for both of these. Would Oathakaya be unnecessary extra removal in this deck? I think so. I really haven't felt the need for Oathakaya. Tyrant Scorn has a lot of utility in this deck in the context of what it does with all of our other creatures, which is really nice.
Here goes nothing.
Gefum, thanks for the brand new Prime Sport. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I think this deck's probably good enough even without the field ban. I'm talking about less proactive versions of Esper will become the norm. This version of Esper is reasonable because the agent plan makes you reasonably proactive. Were Planeswalkers a mistake? I don't think so. So if you think about it in a way, Planeswalkers are a lot like artifacts or enchantments that are just easier to interact with. Planeswalkers are basically artifacts and enchantments that you can interact with via the combat step. So I shocked in that land there so I could gain 5. It also left Murderous Rider open, but gaining 5's decent too. We have plenty of ways that kill Planeswalkers, Acker. Once upon a time, we didn't have that, but there are a lot of things that kill Planeswalkers at this point. Yeah, it's funny when you, like, get to Agent of Treachery your opponent's red sources and then, like, get to use Kenny to his fullest abilities. I mean, even before Murderous Rider, we had Hero's Downfall, and Bedevil, and Dreadbore, and, like, Assassin's Trophy. Like, there's a lot of ways to interact with these things. Oh, I loved all the old stories. Gerard and the Weatherlight got me through my adolescence. Come on now. Don't crap on Gerard and the Weatherlight. I have memories. Memories all alone in the moonlight. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Magic has a story? Yeah, there's a ton of really bad old novels in my garage. In a box that never got unpacked from the last time I moved. Kenny's gonna bring back Realm-Cloaked Giant here in a second. Man, this latest set is just like mono good mythics, huh? Yeah, I have, and that doesn't even give the OG Magic books. There's a real OG Magic book called Arena. I have that one too, where like the characters dueled as wizards with spells. It was like full Vorthos, like magic, kind of similar to the card game. You could like, you won the other wizard's spells in the stories. Like they were playing for ante, basically. Oh, honey. It was very Yu-Gi-Oh-esque. Yeah, it was very Yu-Gi-Oh-esque. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. How about 4 Noxious Grasp, 2 Despark, Sakaya's Wrath? I feel like this matchup might be good for us, chat. I feel like there's a chance this matchup might be good for us. Outside shot that it's okay. I don't think we need to go over the top with this. I think just like Kenny plus Realm-Cloak is fine. Maybe a couple agents are better than Charming Prince. I could see that. This doesn't really block meaningfully against their bigger aggro deck. Let's try this. Do you have any good resources for teaching yourself Python? I don't offhand. Not any that I'd specifically recommend. I'm the type of person who always learns best by doing things. So like whenever I want to learn a programming language, I always just like pick a project and then build the project in the programming language that I want to learn. If Field gets banned, could Kenny become a standard staple? I will bet Kenny will become a standard staple even if Field remains legal. Kenny is very good. Just do this now before they can Veil of Summer me. Well, when he's not an elk, he's spectacular. Ain't that the truth? Do you think this Realm-Cloaked Giant's gonna be good? This cast-off's about to be pretty reasonable. Go. Our hand is pretty decent. Sure. Do I want to pay 6 life to draw a card, chat? What do we think? Do I want to pay 6 life to draw a card? I'm gonna go with no. Yes, y'all are crazy. Oh, it doesn't kill the giant. Yeah, that's true. Forgot about that. It'll be okay. I've got Enter the God Eternals. So we want to target ourselves here with this, not only because we could mill things we want to reanimate, but this way if they Veil of Summer, I still get a 4/4. So they're going to draw a card, their thing's not going to die, but I still get a 4/4 here. And then next turn I get to play my 7th land and cast a 7/7, which is like pretty good. Although Yorvo here might be outclassing that. We're going to 9 here. Even if they have 2 green cards next turn, I get to double block, which is nice. Nah, I think I'd rather just play a 2nd threat out. I think killing the goose doesn't really accomplish anything at this point. Love yourself, Agent. Love yourself. He says, oh, he's an agent for good, chat. Seven mana, 2/3. You're welcome for the 10 months. There's a lot of people out there making a lot of great content, but you're welcome for supporting yours this month. Thanks for the 10 months, Cryas. Thanks for the 6 months, Razor Rocks. Welcome back. Yeah, my plan is to start Mythgard about 2 o'clock, Nivik. Although this deck's probably going to run long. I want to do at least one more match with this one. And these matches go for a long time. This is only match 2. Why wasn't I attacking with this? Because I'm dumb? I think the reason is because I'm dumb. Just finished watching your League with Once Upon a Aristocrats yesterday. It looked awesome. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dusty fella. I'm just speaking my truth. Definitely missed an attack with the Realm-Cloaked Giant last turn. There's like that mode in your brain that kind of flips where you like go from like being in control to starting to attack. I didn't make any changes today, Vernash. I think next time I might try Radical Idea though. Yep, that makes this a 7/7, but that's fine. These are still trade, and I'm okay with trading. That rant was the reason I decided to subscribe. Well, thanks for the support, Yanis. I appreciate it. I don't think I'm into paying 3 life for a card at this point. Alright, do you have a third veil? They could realistically have a third veil here. Yup. Yeah, if you want to hear a not safe for work rant, skip to about an hour 40 into the Once Upon an Aristocrats video yesterday. Topic of the rant, enlightened centrism. Do you have veil number 4? You don't. God bless. My gifted sub ran out today, so I'm back to chatting in bits. Hopefully there will soon be some money in Prime to use to support your stuff. Gotta go back to work. Can I get a timeout? Of course, Kid Martian. We aim to please. So much salt I could smell the ocean. That's a good line. I'm gonna use that one in the future. I don't think I've heard it put that way before. Would God Eternals first be the better place? You could Murderous Rider if they Veil. Yeah, maybe. I think you're right, Russian Spoon, that's better sequencing. Was Veil of Summer a mistake? I don't know. Pretty easy mulligan here. Hand's just like pretty expensive. It doesn't have a land. I think if like any of these 3 cards were like a blue source, I'd keep this, but I think we could do better than 2 lands with a chance to brick in the dark. Yeah, seems pretty reasonable. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to bottom the Connive Concoct. Yeah, I agree. Esper with ways to actually kill people is a lot more. It's a lot more stomachable, right? Huh? Do I take the Garrick because it's going to be trouble later? Or do I take the Edgewalled Innkeeper because it's going to be trouble now? I could also just take the Love-Struck Beast because it's going to kind of beat me down. I don't have a good way to take the other things off the table. I'm going to take the Love-Struck Beast. Which means they're going to draw that 1-drop. They did not draw an adventure creature right away. That's good for us. Huh? This is probably one of the few cards I'm keeping here that's not a land, just because it ends this Innkeeper. Missing a land drop feels pretty bad here. Oh, gonna die pretty quickly. Woof. If I miss a land drop again next turn, this one's gonna be over. They're at least stumbling as well. Vomit. So we're going to 6 here. If they hit us with Rankle, they could put us to 4 or to 2. Alright, need to draw an untapped land. It needs to not hurt us, because if we draw an untapped land, then it hurts us. We die to Rankle. Okay. Oh-ho. We're halfway there. Oh-ho. Living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Singing Living on a Prayer and saying take my hand at that moment feels quite perfect. Each player discards. Oh, I didn't fetch blue. Oh, I didn't fetch blue. Oh, I wasn't thinking about Enter the God Eternals. Crap. Yeah, I punted this game with my fetching. No, but I need this Murderous Rider for Garrick later. Not to mention I'm now dead to this. Yeah, if I had blue mana here, we'd be ahead in a huge way right now. But I didn't, so we're just gonna like die to a questing beast off the top. Or another Rankle. Alright. Well, that's lethal, so we'll take that one.
With the Argbo at my side, I can't lose a fight. I'd get out of the way if I were you.
All right, so do I kill Paradise Druid here? Because that keeps them off of mana for this. Yeah, and their beast can't attack, right? If we draw an untapped land, we're actually in this game in spite of my mistake. Yeah, I'm aware Vivian gives trample, but I've got 7 toughness plus 2 lifelink. Thanks, Gold Dead Ringer. Yep, yeah, I've got my 32-ounce Contigo water bottle here with my sippy straw because I'm a man-child. This stream's in no way sponsored or endorsed by Contigo, but Contigo, if you're out there, it certainly could be. I think I take this hit. I guess taking that hit means I can't shock in a land, which is a mistake. Maybe that makes it a mistake. Okay, and we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Am I high sliceless? That was a close game. I think there's a chance I win that game if I fetch correctly. There's a real chance I win that game if I fetch correctly. Kaya's Wrath, bunch of Noxious Grasp sound good. I think this is another match where Agent of Treachery is not stellar. Charming Prince seems a little bit medium. How do we feel about Enter the God Eternals here? And Despark. Enter and Despark. Teferi Time Raveler is probably not good because they're like a Rankle deck and they're a Rankle deck and they're a Questing Beast deck. X Tarek, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. I don't think I want Stroke. My deck's pretty much a tap-out control deck, so I'd rather have more spells that play to the board. They do have a lot of things enters kills, and buffering my health total is probably not bad. What do we think of this configuration? I don't think Bell-Haunt's good enough because I don't think it blocks their stuff meaningfully. Yeah, I don't want to bounce adventure creatures either. Is another good observation. I think I like this setup. Let's try this. This is not a matchup I've played with this deck yet. This deck feels good against, reasonable against Golos and good against like the Nissa Oko decks though. Well, I mean, these cards are good. If Rankle attacks Teferi, that's a win for you. Not really. Disagree. Well, this isn't a card I can really afford to get 2-for-1 by, or 3-for-1 by after a mulligan, so I guess we'll take that. Davriel's a weird one. I wonder if that card's good against, Golos. Maybe it is. There's kind of a critical mass deck. Tyrant Scorn not looking stellar here. I think I'm going to pass here because they're pretty likely to play something I want a Murderous Rider, even if I Thought Erasure them. So I'd rather just like Murderous. God bless America. Yeah, let's just go to the next one. Their hand is absurd after we mulliganed a bunch. Alright, let's get a fourth match in here before we roll to the next one. You are an Elutris installer for MTGO that actually works. Nice! Is it up on the official website? I'd believe that, because like I have a Docker image that works, so if you can finagle it to run through Wine on the Docker image, you can finagle it there. Sweet, I'll have to give that a try and see if it works better than the Docker image. Because I've been using a Windows VM recently because the Docker image started lagging heavily on me. Maybe your setup works better than whatever they have. Sikra said he didn't like playing with it against Golos. Yeah, it seems like a weird card to have then. Because like decks like what we're playing aren't really a part of the format. Do I do GPU pass through to the VM? That's not something I've finagled, no. Does VirtualBox support GPU pass through? I think it does. I'm not 100% on that though. Moto's also not a video game, so like GPU pass through is not really. I'm gonna bin this actually because we're likely to find a reanimate spell before we already get to 7 lands, I think. Do you have so if I just search in Lutris, will I find it? If I just use the default Lutris search, will it just come up for me then, X-Trick? Perfect. Yeah, I've never screwed with KVM. Fox, thanks for... Seriously? Seriously? This format is such an inbred cluster. Yeah, they're just metagaming. They're just metagaming the other field of the dead decks. Thanks for the sub, Gift Fox. That's unreal. Well, there goes our reasonable shot at winning. They drew Circuitous Route too. Discard spells are so tilting. Like, discard spells just suck all around. They suck for the person casting them, and they suck for the person playing against them. Is discard better or worse than counterspells, in your opinion? I think discard is significantly worse than counterspells. And the reason for that is very simple. From a gameplay perspective, counterspells require both players to make decisions. When someone plays a counterspell, that means the counterspell player chose to pass with resources up, and the player playing into the counterspell chose what spell they sequenced into it. With discard spells, there's no decisions on one side. They just strip choices away from one of the players involved. And in my opinion, cards that generate what I consider to be good game design generate gameplay decisions on both sides of the table. Force of Will is bad game design in my opinion. For the reasons I just described. I agree that counterspells tend to feel bad to play against, but I also think that they're reasonable game design because of the choices that they create for both players. I think we're down 2 agents from that stupid Ashiok. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's only 3 agents in my main deck. These charming princes are ready to go the distance, chat. To what extent do you think discard spells are necessary? I don't think they're a necessary evil at all. I think if you design a proper format, it doesn't need discard spells in it. I think discard spells feeling necessary in your format are a virtue of your format being crap. I think the reason why people think Thoughtseize and cards like that are okay in Modern are because they basically have Stockholm Syndrome. Sodded, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I want to just get my hand empty so I can afford to draw cards with this so I can maybe find my last Agent of Treachery. If we can find our last Agent of Treachery, we might be able to win this game. That Ashiok put us from, like, strongly favored to win this game to incredibly far behind. No, this Connive Concoct's probably going to be a Hail Mary to dig for an agent at some point. If I find an Agent of Treachery, I get to, like, bounce it with Teferi and replay it and take their fields. Then we, like, have a reasonable shot here. So we're behind at the moment, but I don't think we're, like, dead to rights or anything like that. Sweet. That doesn't bode well for the home team. I like the gameplay Strip Mine and Winter Orbs create. Let's make a petition to reprint them for modern. God bless Sinner. Thanks for the 5 months. Yeah, that's a card. All right. Can we high roll the last agent? Magic's an incredibly low variance game, chat. High skill, low variance, better player always wins, etc., etc. Maybe I don't want Kaya's Wrath. My Murderous Rider too. I like the Scorns and the Princes and the Teferis because they rebounce my agent, which is nice. Let's do this. You just noticed the Dancing Monkey on your submit deck page. Listen, we are many things here, but lying is not one of them. We're very, very honest about what we do. Have a good one, Tori. This hand's like pretty medium, but I think it's a keep. He just like has all our colors and has plenty of lands. This is a matchup where we definitely want to like hit 7 land drops. There's no Legion's End because I don't think it really solves any problems that we have. In my experience, the way the field matchup plays out, you don't beat the Field of the Dead decks by randomly like one-shotting their zombies. These decks reassemble zombies plenty quick. You beat the Field of the Dead decks by stopping them, by taking their fields away. So again, like playing Legion's End is a non-solution in my experience. It's coming at why you're losing the matchup from the wrong axis. It's misidentifying how and why you're losing. Yeah, Legion's End is only good if you're clearing zombies and then attacking through. I agree with that assessment. Field of Ruin did rotate, yes. Hot take. Even if Field of Ruin was still legal, it wouldn't do much to make this matchup better for most control decks. Yeah, I agree with that. Even if we wanted to clear zombies, Deputy of Detention would be much better because we could bounce it with our various bounce spells. Yeah, I'm just gonna strip this. I have a bunch of catch-up mechanics in my deck, Camboni Machine. My deck has 4 sweepers in the main deck. So again, look at a problem, identify a solution. Don't just like look at one game and be like, this always happens, right? Like look at the decks, think about them generically, and then talk through what's happening and why it's happening.
Not going to sit this one out. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Our deck, because it's 3 colors, is also just like incidentally good at triggering field once we take it, so that's nice. I assume my opponent's going to be casting a Circuitous Route here, and that's why they plus their Teferi. So they're going to get 4 zombies from that, but I have a 2/3, so that's nice. And then next turn I'll get to start pumping out my own zombies. Yeah, I talked about that on stream before. I think the fact that Field of the Dead or that Ravager Room doesn't destroy Field of the Dead is a big failing of this current format design. Have a good one, Rectangle. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands already. 5, 6. No, we only have 6, but this will get plains, and that'll be fine. I can also Tyrant Scorn my agent back and then replay it and take their other field, which is great. So basically everything I play on this stream is viewer submitted content, Yanis, and you can always find all upcoming decks that I have planned to play on my website here in the deck queue. If you're ever wondering, hey, what's Jeff going to be playing, there's always an easy way to find that answer. Or we could just draw another one, and that'll be excellent. So I would like this Field of the Dead, please. I would like to do this. And I'd like to pass. Field of Ruin would make Ego more viable. Kind of. Getting your Field of Ruin, or getting your Unmoored Ego, like... Veil of Summer, like, sucks pretty hard. Alright, how about if I just, like, make 2 more zombies on demand? I did play my Fabled Passage. That's what I did. Interface trick here, if I click on 5 of my guys and then click on the 5 here, it blocks them all 1-to-1 automatically like that. Every time we do that, we blow someone's mind. They're always just like, oh my god, that works. So, interface tips with Jeff Hoagland. Advanced MTGA techniques that the MPL doesn't want you to know about. The third one will blow your mind. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So... Hallowed Ace, thank you for the 32 months. I appreciate you shipping your Prime this way still after all these years. The Real Boop, thanks for the 14. I appreciate you keeping me around. So how badly do I want this Teferi dead? Probably pretty badly. I really don't want them to draw a card next turn. I don't think I want to Tyrant Scorn this, though. So the Tyrant Scorn is going to let me... The Tyrant Scorn is going to let me bounce this agent and replay it next turn, so we're going to wait for that, I think. Yeah, when I share interface tips like that, it's secretly selfish. Because I basically just don't want to wait for other people to click through the interface is why I'm sharing. Well, that was a misclick, I assume. It's a good thing this giant doesn't trample. Are we just taking their 8/8 Krasis? I think we're taking their 8/8 Krasis, right? Oh, the flavor text is gonna trigger. Yeah, it is. I think this deck triggers the flavor text more than any other deck I've ever played. Thanks. So the party bus was usually winning the game by the time you triggered the flavor text? I will never remember the flavor text when I play this in paper. You're not wrong. It's one of those things where when, like, it happens on Arena, you're like, oh, right, it does that too. All right, they have that Ethereal Absolution. So let's start with this, I think, and see where we go.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint. I'll protect
To be fair, the flavor text was super relevant there. All right, yeah, so I'm gonna draw Murderous Rider here, and then I'm gonna play this tapped and make 2 zombies, and then next turn we get to play Kenrith, and then reanimate Agent of Treachery and trigger the flavor text again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Unfortunately, I can't play and reanimate both, but I can play and reanimate one. Yeah, Ashiok incoming. Oh, Absolution exiles creatures from my bin. That's awkward. Well, they only have 1 black right now, though, right? Dang it, Bobby. Huh? Yeah, but I can't double activate this yet. I only have 14 mana. No, this is black. It's mana of any color. This does stop them. This does stop them from activating this turn, though. Because if they activate this turn, I get to get my thing back. Well, so the way magic and priority works, chat, if I go to target one of my things, they just exile it with this. So I don't want to blink first with Kenrith, basically. All right, well, they tapped off of this, so I'm gonna put a stop at my end step and see what they do here. So I guess I'll take my thing now. And I'll take this. I assume they're about to planar cleansing me, but if they planar cleansing me, I'm still ahead, right? Because I have 2 fields and they have 1. And I get to go ahead and draw a card here. So like I feel like we're still ahead here. Like what is this getting that puts me behind? Are you kidding me? Good lord. If we win this matchup, it's gonna be absurd, because like their deck is like peak max greed you can have for their archetype. Just like pure unadulterated max greed. Perfect. I will bleed for my cards, thank you very much. That one. Ha ha! Woohoo! There's a chance, Tom, that if I don't take their absolution, they don't cleansing us. That was a sick set. Alright, so do I want... They have like negates, and they have planar cleansing in their main deck. Do I want my Duresses here? I feel like I might want my Duresses here. It does suck that Duress can't hit Fairy. I agree. That does suck a little bit. Nah, I'm just gonna not. I love this Esper Field of the Dead deck. Against other Field of the Dead decks, we're Esper Field. This is going to be our last game with this one. After this match, we're going to roll along to a 4-color oven deck. If you didn't see that one last time, it's a treat. Sure. Well, remember, don't play Once Upon a Times on my turn. You should always cast this on their turn after they draw their card for the turn. Alright, I'm excited to lose to Hot Fire off the top of their deck, because their hand's getting picked apart here. So we'll start by taking their Teferi. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to keep that. I just want to, like, hit some lands, and that lets me scry too. So what does greedy mean? Greedy is another way to refer to as over the top or lacking respect for aggro. So as your deck plays more and more big cards to beat other mid-range and control decks, we refer to a deck like that as getting more greedy. It's cutting your low end so you lose hard to the aggressive decks in exchange for top end that lets you beat control decks. And our deck's pretty controlling, so the more we don't punish them for trimming their bottom end, and we get punished for them having a lot of top end. I'm gonna bottom that at this point. I'd like to try and find my way to an agent. I have my first 5 lands guaranteed here. And if we can manage to bin an agent, we have Kenny ready to bring one back on turn 6. I think I'm binning that. It is just like in real life, Ace, it is rare that greed gets punished. Greed is frequently rewarded in reality. Yep, that's staying there. Am I binning this? I think so. They don't have a way to kill Kenrith right now. Famous last words. The problem is they're going to be able to activate Golos, right? So, like, they're going to get a red source with this, and then they're going to get a... They're going to play the white source from their hand. So, like, I kind of need to Murderous Rider them, right? So otherwise they get to activate Golos. If they activate Golos, they're kind of out of resources at the moment. Yeah, I think maybe I was supposed to leave that on top. Because by drawing a land here, I'm still getting Golos on 7. It's just, if they have a removal for Kenrith, I no longer have it. Is the issue now. So, like, if... God, their top of their deck is so hot. And that's a spell. Oh, there's no justice in the world. Stupid desk. Alright, need one of our 5 sweepers. 4 sweepers, 4 sweepers. Alright, well, you know. Hashtag something, low variance game, etc. Getting pretty punished here for having ditched the Agent of Treachery. If I'd have kept... Well, I guess if I hadn't ditched the Agent, I wouldn't have drawn this. So there's that consideration. Or do they have that cost 5? They have another Golos? No, they would have led on Golos, right? Then they would have made more zombies. Or do they have the cost 5 here? Weird. This is actually a decent draw, because it means if they go to kill Kenny, I get to bounce him. That's true, Macabre. I did mention earlier that I was expecting the top of their deck to be some lava. They just have this card in their main deck, too? That's unreal. Man, yeah, like I said, I'd be pretty surprised if we can beat this. I think the more stock field decks that, like, people are playing at the event this weekend, we have a pretty good shot against, but I think this incredibly greedy, they're going way over the top of anything we can do build, we have a pretty hard time with. I think Kenrith was going to be enough to pull us through there if they didn't just, like, literally draw 10. Yeah, this is why if I was playing a competitive tournament, like I talked about, maybe I should consider this deck. I probably won't, just from, like, the reality perspective of, like, having to deal with things like the opponent's deck where people are just going to go way over the top of you is not something I find enjoyable. It's like, no matter how big you go, there's always a bigger, greedier person out there. Oh, I messed up. Wait, does this not... Do I not have... Oh, I have 2, 2, and 2. That's awkward. I'm not getting zombies either. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. So that feels a little bit bad. I think this deck has an okay typical field matchup. I think when our opponent has, like game 1, we were in a pretty good spot and we lost to a main deck Ashiok. And then that last game, there's just nothing we could do when they draw 10 after we're a little bit spent. So, I don't think I really have anything to say about this. I think I might try Radical Idea at some point. Radical Idea is like a cheap card. Radical Idea is like a cheap card that you can play to get these in the bin earlier to reanimate them, so I might give that a go, because it's like fine even when we don't draw our threat, so that's fine. I like the analysis format yesterday on CFB. Usually you go under deck like this, but because people are still playing Simic Oko, that is a terrible, into these terrible Golos matchups, aggro can't really thrive since Oko being aggro. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like the black aggro decks that get 4 Noxious out of the board have a very real shot against those Oko decks. Like, the red-black oven deck we've been playing is, like, pretty aggressive. So I agree that, like, traditional mono-red is pushed out by these Oko decks, but I think people need to just, like, stop being lazy and, like, work outside their comfort zone and realize that, like, traditional mono-red is, like, not the only thing in the format. Tomebound Lich hedges aggro and puts stuff in your bin. Tomebound Lich is interesting. I could see that. It plays okay with Teferi 2 and Charming Prince blinking it. Yeah, maybe that's worth a try. Could see that being okay. Maybe that's better than Enter the God Eternals. Although it's a little awkward that card doesn't block Questing Bees. Alright, so what are we doing? We're heading on into another sweet deck. Up next, we've got a 4-color oven variation that features everybody's favorite cat, Broko, the food package, and then Corvald, the fake cursed here at the very top end of the website, at the very website of the deck list.